Hello friends and welcome to the CryptoStacker channel. My name is Dean. If you're watching my videos for the first time, please know I only make them for entertainment, education, and community building around the tokens that I talk about. Today's video is about Saitama. And Saitama is doing all right here, down 1.1% in the last 24 hours versus a market that's down 1.7%. Now, I'm not trying to paint a real rosy picture. We all know if you've been following Saitama here recently, it's been a rough week. In the last 7 days, down about 35%. So what can turn this frown upside down? That's what I want to talk about in today's video. Before we get too deep into some of those things, let's jump through the fundamentals really quick and just see where we're sitting. So Saitama currently sitting at 343,930 wallets, an increase of about 400 over yesterday. And since I didn't make a video the day before, there were another 300 there, about 700 new wallets in the last 2 days. Our rank currently sitting at 142 of all cryptocurrencies with a market cap of just over 500 million. And I'd like to see us maintain that 500 million or better. I don't like breaking through barriers on the downside. So let's hold the line, folks. Price 70115. And the volume about 5 million. Now, this is where I start looking at this thing, and that's kind of interesting. The burn's still sitting at 56.46%, 3.5 trillion tokens burned in the last 24 hours. So this 5 million in volume, with SideMask out, we were all hoping to see higher levels of volume. And I'm not 100% sure why we're not seeing those, but I can tell you from a trade I just made that there's still not a ton of liquidity in there on some of these projects. So if you're buying into them, you have to trade in relatively small dollar amounts. So hopefully we'll see more liquidity pumped in. At the end of the video today, I am going to make a trade. So before we do that, a couple other items of business to take care of. Let me give a quick shout out to my sponsor for today's video, iTrust Capital. Now, iTrust Capital is a platform that allows you to invest in cryptocurrencies in an IRA. And I had a really interesting thing happen this week. This is my lovely daughter. She was in the high school play of Shrek the Musical. She was one of the 3 blind mice and crushed it. Did an amazing job. While I was at the play, I was sitting next to an accountant who told me, wow, be careful with cryptocurrency because the tax situation's kind of messy. And as all of us work with our tax accountants, I'm sure we'll figure out what she was talking about. However, with iTrust Capital, the taxes should be pretty straightforward because you either work with a traditional or a Roth IRA. In a traditional IRA, you put the money in pre-tax, then it grows tax deferred, and when you pull it out, you'd pay whatever your regular tax rate is on anything coming out at the time. So it's not on a per transaction basis. In a Roth IRA, you already have paid your taxes, you put it in, it grows tax-free, until you take it out tax-free, as long as you meet all the terms and conditions of retirement accounts. So iTrust Capital, great way to put some money away for retirement and invest in common cryptos that you're very familiar with. Lots of the top 30 or so, including a couple of the big community tokens. So hopefully someday we'll see Saitama on this platform as well. All right, let's jump into this article by Watcher Guru. This article is entitled, Saitama Enters into a Multi-Million-Dollar Deal with Khabib, of the long name, difficult to pronounce, Fight Club. Okay, now Khabib is a ultimate fighting guy, and he is a really, really tough dude. This kind of dovetails off of the fight that the developers went to in February with this gentleman here, which is Islam Makhachev. This is Khabib on the right. So the Saitama developers are putting money towards advertising in the UFC. And there is one particular, here it is, portion of this article that just says the Saitama logo will appear on fighter clothes, the octagon, and other areas as part of the newest agreement. It's also worth noting that a single 20-minute battle may attract millions of spectators. As a result, Saitama's marketing team spotted a huge opportunity to promote their logo in the octagon. So, it's different than the Makhachev fight because with his fight, they were only able to have him wear logo wear in his pre-fight workouts. When he actually came into the arena, it wasn't something that he could do. So It's something. I know some people aren't super excited about spending marketing dollars there, but it is marketing, and we definitely need to attract some new investors to Saitama, and hopefully the functionality of SideMask will bring some of the old investors back as some of the new functionality, staking and things like that come online. So to finish out the video today, I'm going to jump back into my phone and SideMask, and we'll just do a quick test buy. I've made one earlier. It worked without a hitch. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to select Saitama. I'm going to pick one of the cryptocurrencies that I haven't used up to this point. So my last test buy was with Kishimoto. Let's just do Shaman. I'm just going down the list. I don't have a particular preference. I need to learn more about all of these. And I'm going to try to do, let's say 10 billion. So I've gone through, I started at 10 billion and I just worked my way down. This is $1 billion. And honestly, I don't like trading in this small of denominations because I think you start saving money and fees as you increase your amount that you're buying. But for the sake of today's video, let's just go in and do a test buy and see that we're working here. So I've gone ahead and shot that in. It's about 10:12 and 12:10, excuse me. We'll give it a few minutes to process and see how it goes. Now, you can see on the Kishimoto buy that's on the screen right now, it still shows that it's processing, but if I look at my investment portfolio, the Kishimoto is there. So that transaction worked. I'm not sure why it's still hanging out on the trade screen, on the swap screen, but I'll just keep watching it and see what happens. It does appear to be in my wallet. So we'll see if the Shaman one processes any differently here. I'll just let it run and I'll edit it out, tell you how much time it takes. So I went ahead and edited my video, and when I got done editing, I went back into SideMask to take a look. It did show that the Shaman transaction is still processing, but again, when I go into the portfolio tab, Shaman is in the house, okay? So the transaction did go through. You can see it's only like $8 worth of Shaman. And again, I'd like to see the ability to put $100 in, $200 in, but maybe it's a blessing that the transactions have to be small as we familiarize ourselves and as we make sure that the bugs are worked out of the system, because it did take quite a while to process, and that could be the network itself. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with SideMask, but I'm not sure why these are still showing that they're in processing, and why I can't get the Etherscan receipt like I could in a transaction that's completed at this point. So nonetheless, I have 2 more successful transactions. I almost have everything that's available on SideMask in my SideMask wallet. So it's good. This is progress and I'm encouraged. So other things that we can look for here coming soon, hopefully. The other options, the SIDA market, the NFT maker, the SIDA edutainment, and of course, staking of Saitama, which should be available on SideMask once all the preparations are made. I'm not in a rush for it. I'm glad we have what we do have at this point. With the Dubai Expo coming up, I think it's good that the team has a platform that's functional that they can take out and put on display. And hopefully between that, some of the marketing and new things that are coming, we'll see a nice foundation here and start building the community back again. Friends, I hope you're having an amazing day. Thanks for spending some time with me. Check back with me soon. We'll watch our crypto stacks grow together.